Smitty's words attracted the attention of many people in the nightclub. Dalton's here? I wonder what he'll do now. Is there a need to ask? Dalton is Smitty's brother-in-law. It's over for that good-for-nothing he chooses to fight again, an onlooker remarked. Dalton, you have to avenge me. He's the one who started all this trouble tonight, Smitty begged. Shut up and stand behind me. Dalton's face was extremely serious, and Smitty had no choice but to do as he said. Dalton had known Kevin for quite some time now and had seen him humiliate a lot of people. However, Dalton had never actually seen Kevin fight, so he was a bit surprised when he first heard about the nightclub brawl. How much did he really know about Kevin? Dalton, you got here pretty fast, Kevin boastfully called out to him. I just taught your brother-in-law a lesson. Don't tell me you're mad. When they heard Kevin say this, all of the onlookers at the nightclub were petrified. Everyone in Chicago knew who Dalton was. So how could a lowlife like Kevin speak to him like this? Did he have a death wish or something?
Kevin, if you wanted to have a night out and go for a drink, why didn't you just come and find me? I know a lot of better places than this.
Dalton walked up to Kevin enthusiastically and put his arm around his shoulder.
You didn't have to beat up my brother-in-law so badly.
In my defense, he went after my wife and her cousin, so I had to put him in his place. Besides, out of respect for you, I only kicked him once. At least he's not lying on the ground like his other men, Kevin said with a laugh.
Fair enough. My brother-in-law can be quite a headache sometimes. I'll have to explain this to my wife when I get home.
Then Dalton turned around to Smitty and shouted,
Don't you know who you just pissed off? What the hell are you just standing there for? Apologize to Mr. Williams immediately.
Smitty's jaw dropped. With no choice but to accept defeat, he dejectedly made his way towards Kevin and apologized.
Mr. Williams, I'm so sorry for giving you any trouble tonight. Please forgive me.
Kevin picked up the wine bottle that he'd ordered earlier and poured a glass in front of Smitty. I accept your apology. Now that we're good, have some of this wine. I hope you've learned your lesson and will keep a low profile when you go out in the future. Displeased with Smitty's behavior, Dalton scolded him.
Why are you still standing there drinking? Leave the nightclub as soon as you finish that glass of wine.
He then ordered his bodyguard to take away the men who were lying on the floor. Once Smitty and his men were out of the nightclub, Dalton turned his attention back to Kevin.
Even our teacher at the Healing Arts School is no match compared to someone like you, Kevin. It's better to keep you safe and sound than anything else.
The surrounding crowd seemed to have been confused by Dalton's words. What was he talking about? Is this man even human? After a while, Kevin felt that they couldn't stay at the nightclub much longer, so he gave his car keys to Lily and let her and Nicole head back first. He was going to walk with Dalton for a while. Promise me you'll come home early, Lily reminded Kevin quietly.
Don't worry, Lily. I won't let Kevin get in any trouble, Dalton answered with a smile.
Not long after Lily and Nicole left, Kevin felt a wave of pressure coming towards him and Dalton. His expression changed drastically. Dalton, run! He pulled Dalton by his arm and called for everyone at the nightclub to escape. Everyone, get out immediately. Don't follow the two of us. What are those two running away from? The onlookers were confused. Suddenly, Kevin saw a dagger swiftly approaching them from a distance. Dalton, be careful! After pushing Dalton away, he quickly gathered all of his strength and stretched out both hands in an attempt to deflect the weapon. But the dagger's momentum was too strong, and Kevin was sent flying from the impact. At the same time, the deflected dagger was perfectly caught by none other than Ariana Titus.
Damn it! You really won't stop going after us, will you?
Dalton's face instantly turned sour when he saw who was attacking them. I can't believe you're still alive after what I did to you. Ariana sneered as she looked at Dalton in surprise.
Of course, I'm tougher than you think,
Dalton remarked and then rushed towards Kevin.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Kevin reassured Dalton and got back up on his feet. As he took out the night dagger from his jacket, he briefly wondered how Ariana had suddenly resurfaced to attack them tonight. Since they were able to track their whereabouts, it meant that there must be people from the Union in the city. "You two are doomed," Ariana threatened.
You really talk about a big game, don't you? I remember back in New York City, you also said the same thing at the hospital, but you didn't succeed.
Dalton was unimpressed.
Now that you're in my territory here in Chicago, what makes tonight any different?
"Dalton, just bear with it. She definitely won't stand a chance against the two of us." Kevin remained relatively calm at the moment. "Kevin, you two souls in exchange for his." As soon as these words left Ariana's mouth, she took a step forward and started to thrust her dagger at Kevin.
Good luck with that. Maybe it's you who should join him up there.
Dalton didn't have any fear as he raised both fists, ready to fight Ariana. Unfortunately, Ariana was too strong for Dalton. "You all right there, Dalton?" Kevin wanted to come over and help him, but he was still recovering from the effects of crashing into the tree.
"I'm fine,"
Dalton moaned, but Kevin could see some blood flowing down from the corner of his mouth as he gritted his teeth. Ariana shouted as she once again diverted her attack towards Kevin. Seeing this, Dalton wanted to stop Ariana, but he couldn't manage to pull his legs out of the ground. Thanks to the protective clothing the Alliance leader had given him, it saved his life again. Damn it! Because her attack had failed, Ariana decided to change her strategy. This time, Kevin was unable to block her, but his protective clothing managed to protect him from much worse injuries. "I didn't expect you to be wearing such powerful protection under your clothes. When I'm finished with you, I'll take it from you as my bounty." Ariana sneered as she rushed towards Kevin in a flash. He could see the greed that was faintly visible in her eyes. "When you see your grandfather in the afterlife, remember to get down on your knees and apologize to him for being such a useless grandson." Ariana taunted as she prepared to deliver a final blow to Kevin's head.
"Don't hurt him."
Dalton finally found enough strength to pull his legs out and rush to save Kevin. "Neither of you are powerful enough to go up against me," Ariana warned as she struck back. "Dalton!" Kevin shouted anxiously. It seemed like it was impossible for them to fight back, even with his night dagger and his body armor. "Any last words?" Ariana snarled as she clenched her fist. Just then, a strong wind blew, forcing Ariana to divert her attention and defend herself as she held her dagger in front of her. "Who dares to interfere?" Ariana quickly wiped the blood from the corner of her mouth. Her gaze vigilantly swept around her surroundings a few times, but she still couldn't see her mysterious opponent. "Why are you still hiding? Show yourself!" "How can the Union claim to hate evil when you're just adding to it?" A figure slowly walked over from a dark corner. "It's you again!" Ariana immediately recognized who it was. She then drew another dagger and pointed it at the Night King. "You've injured my student twice. It seems like I have to teach you a lesson." The Night King drew his own dagger, the same one that had struck Ariana earlier. Seeing this, Ariana wasn't going to back down and was prepared for a showdown. She brought out the shield that was strapped behind her back. Forged in titanium alloy, she was confident that it would protect her from the Night King's strikes. However, her shield was shattered into pieces like broken glass with just one strike. Ariana's eyes were filled with disbelief. What kind of dagger was the Night King using? It looked much more powerful and terrifying than hers. "This is only a small punishment. If you ever dare to harm Kevin again, you'll suffer the same fate as your shield," the Night King warned Ariana without even looking at her as she ran away. "Thank God you came. I feel bad, though, that you've already had to save me twice despite your training," Kevin called out with difficulty. "It's all right. It doesn't hurt to lose now and then. I still have a lot to teach you," the Night King stoically replied. "Thank you so much. I really appreciate it." No matter how thick-skinned Kevin was, it was impossible for him to hide his emotions after the Night King had saved his life twice. That woman is too ruthless. Fortunately, I got here in time, the Night King commented as he took a multicolored pill from his pocket. This is a crystal pill. Take it and you'll wake up recovered. I'll go and check on your friend. After the Night King threw the pill to Kevin, he stood up and walked towards Dalton. When the Night King first got there, he watched them secretly for a long time. He wanted to see how far Kevin could go against Ariana during their second encounter. So he'd witnessed Dalton risking his life to save Kevin, and this impressed him. More than an hour later, Kevin woke up from a deep sleep. When he checked his surroundings, the Night King had already disappeared. Only Dalton, who was recuperating not far away, and the traces of their fight on the ground proved that it wasn't just a dream. I didn't expect the Night King to give me the crystal pill, Kevin exclaimed as he examined how his body felt. According to the herbal medicine books he got from the Alliance, the crystal pill was made from high-grade natural ingredients that only a selected few in the organization knew how to produce. And true enough, his injuries had not only fully healed, but he also felt much stronger than before because of it. While he was thinking about this, Dalton suddenly woke up.
Kevin, are you all right?
I'm fine, Dalton. Why don't we head home? We can't stay here for long. Kevin cautioned with lingering fear that Ariana would come back for them when the Night King is out of sight. Dalton was curious.
The old man from earlier.
That's my mentor. I can't say much, but you must keep his existence a secret. Kevin interrupted Dalton, but he didn't tell him anything else about his connection with the Night King. After all, the fewer people who knew about him, the better.
I understand, Kevin. Let's head back now.
Seeing that Dalton had already fully recovered, Kevin knew right away what the Night King had given him. The next day, when Kevin took Lily to the Healing Arts School, he was surprised to find that there were various arenas set up on the school's martial arts field. Honey, I've got class now. Let's meet this afternoon. Lily smiled and kissed Kevin before leaving. Okay, Kevin agreed as they parted ways. However, as soon as Kevin stepped into the classroom, he saw Mackenzie, who was sitting next to Penny. He then remembered that he still had to think of a way to save her grandfather, Roger Knott. Very quickly, news of a martial arts competition to eliminate the myriads quickly spread throughout the entire school. Professor Murdoch entered each classroom and explained the rules of the contest. They were very simple. Students would fight each other one-on-one. They couldn't use hidden weapons, nor could they injure or kill their opponents. The winners of each round would move forward to face one another in the same manner. Thus, the entire student body marched onto the field in an orderly manner, and high-ranking leaders from the top 10 organizations were already sitting on a platform. I wonder if they'll also participate in today's competition, Kevin asked nervously. His chances of winning would be almost zero against these martial arts experts. Don't worry, they're just here to observe, and their main purpose is to select potential leaders from the current student body, Professor Murdoch explained. However, you'll still have to prove yourself against representatives from the other organizations. Professor Murdoch, are you sure I can handle them? This is a lot of pressure. Kevin was nervous. Professor Murdoch shook her head and gave Kevin a stern look. You better make this school proud. If you don't get first place, Don't worry. I was just kidding. Of course I'll give my best. Kevin interrupted before going to his seat beside Dalton. Upon doing so, he noticed that Mackenzie was sitting in front of him. You're not a student here, are you? Kevin asked her. I brought Mackenzie. Penny turned her head and explained. At the same time, she gave Kevin a complicated look. You're participating in the competition later, right? How did you know? Kevin was surprised. Each class has a nominated roster of participants determined by our professors. Didn't you read our chat group thread last night? Professor Murdoch told everyone that she was counting on you to win, Penny patiently explained. Kevin and Dalton subconsciously looked at each other when they heard her. Last night, the two of them almost died at Ariana's hands. How could they have had the time and energy to check their phones? Suddenly, Kevin's phone vibrated. Kevin, can you help Mackenzie save her grandpa? In order to not attract attention, Penny had secretly sent him a text. Penny, you think too highly of me. The competition looks fierce out there. Kevin admitted. He really wanted to help, but the problem was that he had to get first place and defeat everyone in his path. Kevin, I believe in you. You're the only one who can help her. Also, I didn't mean to offend you before. Right now, I'm begging you, okay? Please save Mackenzie's grandpa. After Penny sent this message, she let out a long sigh. Seeing this, Kevin turned off his phone screen. He then closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He really wanted to tell Penny, I can't promise anything. Even I don't believe in myself. All this time, Mackenzie didn't notice their silent conversation because she was looking far into the distance. Her mind seemed to be preoccupied with something else at the moment. Mackenzie seemed to be bothered by some thoughts as well. Featuring students from different classes and other organizations, Kevin was faced with fierce competition and was unsure if he could win in order to save Roger Knott. When his granddaughter, Mackenzie, returned from Penny's place a few days ago, she discovered that her entire mansion was a mess, and the guards were severely injured. Her grandfather had gone missing, and when she asked those who were lucky enough to survive, she found out that high-ranking members from the top 10 organizations had worked together to capture him. Since then, Mackenzie had spent a great deal of time and effort to look for him, sending members of the Myriads and using any connection she had for reinforcements. But up until now, she still had no leads regarding his whereabouts. So when Mackenzie heard about the martial arts competition at the Healing Arts School today and how the final victor would be given the opportunity to kill her grandfather, she followed Penny over to take a look. Given this, Mackenzie had already made up her mind that even if there was a sliver of a chance today, money wouldn't be an issue if it meant saving her grandfather's life. Don't worry, I'll do my best to help you. Even if he had his own doubts about winning the competition, Kevin tried his best to reassure Mackenzie as he spoke to her. Who asked you to help? Are you sure you can win? Mackenzie snapped as her patience was wearing thin. She was so anxious about her grandfather's condition that she had momentarily forgotten how Kevin and the deputy leader of the Myriads were like brothers. Sorry about that, Kevin. Mackenzie's just very worried, so please excuse her manners. Penny tried to smooth things over with Kevin and told Mackenzie to apologize. Kevin just smiled at them to indicate that he didn't take it to heart. The large martial arts arena could accommodate almost 100,000 people, and now all the seats were currently filled. As his gaze swept across the entire venue, he saw some familiar faces, such as Kelly Emmett, who was a member of the Union, sitting next to Renee Silver and Ariana Titus. Kevin noticed that Ariana looked a little tired and disheveled. It seemed that she hadn't recovered from her injuries after encountering the Night King the previous night. Apart from them, there was also Frank Carter, the martial arts instructor who had since transferred to the Central Alternative Healing Academy, Nadia Alexander, the local president of the Herbalist Society's Southern Branch, and Harley Shepard, the vice president of their own school for the healing arts. I can't believe there are so many familiar faces who are part of the top 10 organizations, Kevin thought to himself. Suddenly, a deep voice announced,
Everyone, please be quiet.
The person who spoke was a man who was standing on the highest platform. It was none other than Wayne Ford, who looked to be in his early 30s. However, the fact that he was able to sit there clearly indicated his high position. It seemed that he wasn't only the enforcer at the Southwest School of Healing. On top of that, he was also the dean of the Healing Arts School. So when Wayne spoke, the noise from the crowd was instantly drowned out by his authoritative voice. This proved how powerful he was.
Today is an important day for the Healing Arts School. The Myriads and the Alliance are two evil underground organizations that have been causing great harm to the world. They must both be eradicated for the greater good. Thanks to a concerted effort from the top 10 organizations, we have managed to capture Roger Knott from the Myriads. This man has committed countless crimes and has killed countless people. Do you think we should punish him? Wayne asked. We should! Thousands and thousands of people agreed in unison. What kind of narrative is he selling? And the fact that they're all agreeing with him, they must be out of their minds. Mackenzie clenched her fist tightly. Penny immediately reached out to comfort Mackenzie, trying to calm her down for the time being. I believe that everyone already knows about today's competition, so I won't keep you all waiting for long. With that, I hope the contestants can give their all and fight for a chance to get rid of evil. Wayne returned to his chair, satisfied with his convincing speech. The host of the competition didn't have Wayne's commanding voice, so he held the microphone in his hand and announced, "Now the competition shall officially begin. Here are the matchups for the first round." When they heard that Kevin was fighting against a student from the Central Alternative Healing Academy, Clarissa Pratt, everyone burst into laughter. Clarissa was the top student from her school. Her martial arts skills were way more advanced compared to Kevin, and she always had a superior knife fighting technique. "Kevin, you should just surrender now. It's not too late to withdraw from the competition." Lionel was the first to stand up and make fun of him. "I really don't know what Professor Murdoch was thinking. She actually let you participate in the competition. Isn't this deliberately making our class lose face in front of everyone?" Mike expressed his resentment. He was secretly bitter for not being chosen to compete and couldn't accept that Kevin was the one selected over him. "Kevin, I know you're good at martial arts. Even Carter can't beat you. However, you should know your own limitations. Do you think you'll actually stand a chance against Clarissa?" Luther sneered. "What the hell is wrong with the three of you? If you're looking for someone to fight, I wouldn't mind kicking your ass right now." Dalton couldn't sit still any longer. These insults towards Kevin were getting way out of line. "Dalton, calm down. They're just jealous. Don't waste your time with those three idiots." Kevin managed to get Dalton to calm himself, then turned his attention to Mike and the others. "If any of you insult me one more time, I'll beat you up in the same way that I beat Carter." Everyone in their class instantly shut their mouths when they heard him. Many of them had witnessed what Kevin had done to Carter, so they didn't even dare to show any signs of mockery on their faces. Although Clarissa was quite the formidable opponent, Kevin wasn't someone that should be taken lightly either. While he was constantly dismissed by his peers for being a useless son-in-law of the Jones family, Kevin had proved everyone wrong so many times already. And even if all the people in their class gathered to fight him together, they still wouldn't be able to defeat him. Therefore, it was hard to say who would win or lose in the competition between the two of them. "Kevin, I know you can do it. Besides, I placed a bet on you for $1 million, so if you win, I can make a lot of money." Dalton made an encouraging gesture. "What? Wasn't the list of matchups just announced?" Kevin asked in confusion. "Yes, but half an hour ago, the host of the competition privately released the list of participants to some of the wealthiest individuals in attendance today to bet on. However, to keep some suspense, they didn't reveal the matchups until just now, so the betting lines have been blowing up ever since. I'm not really into betting, but I already placed my bet on you before I even knew who you were going up against. That's how much faith I have in you." Dalton proudly raised his chin. Kevin frowned and looked at him. "So what are my odds?" Dalton took out his phone and browsed through the thread. "Let me check. Right now, it's plus 2,700 for you and minus 300 for Clarissa." "What the hell? Is there some kind of mistake? Why is the gap so large between us?" Kevin knew that Clarissa would be the favorite, but he still felt insulted by the huge disparity in their odds. Before Dalton could explain, Professor Murdoch, who was standing in the front of her class, had already spoken. "Kevin, why are you still sitting there? Your matchup is coming soon. Hurry up so you still have time to get ready." "I know, Professor Murdoch. Where should I go?" Kevin answered casually as he stood up. "Your match with Clarissa is right over there at the purple arena." Professor Murdoch pointed her finger to prevent Kevin from going to the wrong place. As Kevin walked over and made his way through the crowd, he couldn't help but think to himself, since Dalton bet $1 million on me, he'll make an extra $27 million if I win. So I must let him earn that profit for believing in me. Besides, I don't want anyone to look down on me ever again. So I should really stick it to them.
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.